Meditation completely changed my life. I'm sure you hear that all the time and you're like, bro, another fucking meditation video, are you serious? I've tried this shit, it does not work. Next video. If you're thinking this way, this video's for you. Because I'm not just gonna say, yo, just breathe, focus on your breath. We already breathe all day. I'm gonna give you some actual tips on what meditation is and how you can make this a daily practice. Before I meditated, I was a very anxious person and a very negative thinker. I had quite bad social anxiety. I overthought about everything, and I just didn't like the person that I was. I had a very negative perception of myself and the world. I had a lot of negative energy, a lot of negative thoughts and emotions within me. And if you know anything about thoughts and emotions and beliefs, these things are very powerful. They control your life. They practically manifest this reality that you're living. So think about the thoughts that you're thinking, think about the emotions that you have, think about the beliefs that you hold about yourself and the world, and that should be the reality that you're living. And for me, I couldn't achieve my goals, I couldn't make any friends, and I just did not enjoy my life. After about 2 to 3 years of consistent meditation, my life has completely changed. I still have a lot of negative thoughts, a lot of negative beliefs, a lot of negative emotions within me time to time, but they don't control me now. I look at them at a more detached view. I'm able to let them go. I have the ability to let these things go because I've practiced that so many fucking times over and over and over again. And how do you practice this? Well, you meditate. Think about how powerful that is. Seeing your negative thoughts and emotions come up and letting them go is like a fucking superpower. In the past, I used to be a master procrastinator. I would never do work until the last day. I would wait until 20 minutes before the exam to study. I wouldn't do any homework until minutes before it was due. Like, that was literally me. And the reason for this was because of my horrible anxiety. If you have bad anxiety, it's impossible to get shit done, right? You know how controlling that this is. Because what do you do when you're anxious? Maybe you don't know the answer to this question, but for me, I would just instinctively grab my phone, turn on the video game system, do something to distract myself from my negative thoughts, and I would do this on autopilot because it was just a habit to do this rather than to confront my own thoughts. These instantly gratifying things may feel good in the moment, but they hurt you in the long run. Meditation is the exact opposite. It fucking sucks in the moment, but it helps you in the long run. You feel amazing after you meditate. You sit in those negative thoughts, that anxiety feeling, those negative emotions, and you let them go. You sit in that fucking fire, which in the moment, it's not fun. It sucks. But the more you practice this, the easier you can do this throughout the day, because you will be anxious throughout the day. You will get negative thoughts throughout the day. And if you know how to let those things go in your meditation practice, you practice this over and over and over again, it becomes so much easier to do that throughout the day. That's what I'm doing during this video right now, because I get a lot of negative thoughts. I get a lot of negative emotions that come up when I'm recording a video. But now that I have the ability to just let them go rather than attach to those thoughts, rather than allowing that anxiety and stress to control me, I'm actually able to make a video when in the past, I couldn't fucking do this. Many people will tell me, bro, I tried meditation, but I just felt super anxious. I felt like shit. I don't think it's working. I don't really want to do this anymore. I don't feel relaxed. I feel more stressed. This is probably because this is your first time confronting those negative thoughts rather than distracting yourself with instant gratification. Meditation is a skill, and you're on level 1. The more you practice this, the more you begin to level up, and the easier it becomes to become mindful and present and let go of those negative thoughts and emotions throughout the entire day. Many people think that their problem is playing too many video games, procrastinating, going on their phone, eating junk food, bad habits, but their real problem is anxiety. When you can control your anxiety, all of these other problems go away. Stress and anxiety were created for our survival. This is in our biology so that we survive. This is called a fight or flight state. And when we are in this fight or flight state, this means that we either need to fight off that danger in front of us or run and hide from it. But when there is no real danger in front of us, when you're just watching my YouTube video and you're sitting on your couch slouched over, anxious, stressed, this is when this becomes a little bit of a problem. This is when meditation comes into play. And right now, this is the part of the video where I'll tell you what meditation actually is. Not just gonna tell you, yo, just breathe, just focus on your breath. And I'll give you 5 tips on how you can make this a daily practice. Meditation is simply letting go. Often throughout the day, we have negative thoughts, negative emotions, and we automatically attach to those thoughts and emotions. Our mind habitually does this. This is a habit to do this. We do this on autopilot. So without us thinking, we think a negative thought, feel a negative emotion, and then before we know it, we've spent 2 hours scrolling on fucking TikTok. So why does this happen? Did you intentionally think that negative thought? Did you intentionally feel that anxiety, that negative emotion? No. Well, I hope not. And this is why a lot of people think that meditation doesn't work. Oh, I didn't feel relaxed. I didn't feel peaceful. I just felt more stressed and anxious. This is because this is the thoughts and emotions that your mind automatically conjures up on autopilot all day long. And you're finally confronting those thoughts for once. Your mind thinks and feels this way automatically on a daily basis without you even thinking, without any conscious efforts. And rather than distracting yourself, meditation is sitting in those thoughts, sitting in those emotions, and practicing letting them go, letting them pass. Keep in mind that these thoughts, these emotions, are never here forever. They come and they go. Emotions come and go. They're always fluctuating, going up and down. Thoughts are always changing. It's like the sounds around us. There's never two of the exact same sound. They're always changing, right? Same with our thoughts, same with our emotions. They're never the same. So meditation is sitting in those thoughts, sitting in those emotions with awareness and non-judgment. So you are aware of your thoughts, you are aware of your emotions, and you don't say, okay, this is a good thought, this is a bad thought, I'm gonna force out this bad thought. You don't do that, because forcing it out just makes it worse. You just let those things pass, you let them go. For about the first month or two, I had no idea what meditation was, so I felt that way where I was like, what the fuck, meditation doesn't work? I don't feel relaxed, peaceful. I feel more stressed and more anxious. I don't want to do this. Now that you know what meditation actually is, it's not just breathing, it's watching your thoughts with awareness without judging them and letting them go. You can now effectively practice this, and you need to practice this in order to get to that, I don't know how to describe it, but there's a time where it just all clicks, where meditation finally fucking works. For me, this was the most peaceful fucking day of my life. I told you how bad my negative thoughts and anxiety was. When I first meditated effectively for the first time ever, I literally burst out into tears. I'm like, this is fucking incredible. I feel like it changed, man. And yeah, I was for that day. Then the next day I was just back to my negative thoughts, negative emotions. You need to practice this fucking daily. But eventually you'll get to that point where it all clicks. You'll realize, holy shit, this is what meditation truly is. I'm going to practice this daily. And when you practice it daily, it becomes easy to do this throughout the day. And your entire fucking life will change, because meditation is a meta skill, meaning that it improves every other aspect of your life. Imagine if you're doing some schoolwork. Imagine if you're doing some normal work. Imagine if you're doing some difficult activity and you're able to just let go of your negative thoughts and emotions, release all that anxiety. You get in the flow state easier. You can do your best work you've ever done in your entire life when you make meditation a daily practice. Everything else becomes easier when you practice meditation. That's what meta skill means, is when you practice this certain skill, every other skill gets better along with it. And that's what meditation does. You become more present, you become more mindful. Every other aspect of life starts to improve. But even if you do practice this daily, nothing's going to change unless you make some changes in your life. Because people don't understand that going on your phone, going on Netflix, playing video games, any sort of instant gratification activity that you can think of, basically just undoes everything that you've just practiced. It basically undoes your meditation practice entirely. Because what does going on your phone do? Saps your presence, saps your mindfulness. What does watching Netflix do? It creates emotions within you without you even thinking. These things basically do the opposite of what meditation does. So although you may leveled up the more you practice meditation, these things kind of level you down. The more you practice this, you'll get to a certain point where this present moment is just as enjoyable as going on your phone, as watching some Netflix, as playing some video games, because you now have control over your emotions. Did you actually want to play that video game? Did you actually want to go on your phone? Did you actually want to watch that TV show? Or did you just want to get the dopamine, that instant hit of gratification? Or did you just want to feel some positive emotions? But when you have the ability to manipulate your own dopamine system and control your own thoughts and emotions, this is when this present moment becomes more enjoyable than a fucking TV show, than a video game, than going on your phone. This takes a lot of fucking time and a lot of practice, and especially a practice of reprogramming your subconscious mind. But you will get to that point eventually, and this present moment will be just as enjoyable as any instant gratification activity that you can possibly think of. Before I get into the 5 simple tips on how you can make meditation a daily practice, I'm just gonna read off how Joe Dispenza explains meditation, and he says this a lot in his guided meditations. He says, you are no one, nobody, nowhere, no place, no time. Listen to that again. You are no one, nobody, nowhere, no place, no time. He says you are the awareness. You are pure consciousness. I used to believe that we are our thoughts. We are our emotions. I am this negative thought. I am this negative emotion. You may think this too, but you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. Like I said, I used to think this in the past, and I would think, what the fuck? Why are people saying I'm not my thoughts, I'm not my emotions? Of course I am. What the fuck would I be if I wasn't? When meditation first works, when it first clicks, you let go of all those things and you realize, holy fuck, I am not my thoughts, I am not my emotions, I am the awareness of these things. I am the awareness of all these 5 senses, of all these thoughts, of all these emotions, and these are things that I can let go and actually create. And this is when manifestation sort of clicked for me too, because I was like, what the fuck? I don't need something external to create an internal emotion, to create an internal state of being. I can do this by myself. And when you do that by yourself, you start to create this external reality. Once meditation finally clicked for me and I realized how powerful all this shit was, dude, I never wanted to take a day off again. Actually, that's not true. I almost never want to fucking meditate, but I force myself to do it anyway, because I know that the power this practice holds, and I know how much it changes my life. And I know that if I'm not leveling up in this skill and I'm instead scrolling on my phone for 10 minutes rather than just meditating for 10 minutes, I'm not leveling up, I'm leveling down. If you don't feel like meditating, that's completely normal. I almost never feel like doing it, but I've made it a consistent daily practice, a habit. And here are a few tips on how you can make meditation a bit easier and build that habit. Step 1 is start small. Meditation is a skill, and just like any skill, if you jump headfirst into it, trying the hardest possible thing, you jump into meditation for 30 minutes straight, you're never gonna wanna do that shit again. It's like those people that say, I'm gonna go to the gym, this is my New Year's resolution, I'm gonna change my fucking life. They go do a crazy hour and a half, hard ass workout, they're sore for the next week, and then they never hit the gym again because that's too intimidating. There's too much friction they need to overcome to go do that again. And meditation is the same way. If you started with, 2 minutes, 3 minutes of meditation, that may not seem like a lot, but if you've never even taken 60 seconds to be aware of your thoughts, that 60 seconds will feel difficult. And anything that you can do to level up that mindfulness skill, that presence skill, it'll become easier to do it again and again and again. So start small, make it easy, don't intimidate yourself, don't make it too hard on yourself. Start small and you'll get better over time. And eventually you'll be able to do this throughout the day. Tip 2 is to use guided meditations. I still use guided meditations to this day, and I will link a great one down below. It's actually by Alan Watts, and he'll walk you through how to actually meditate and in the most effective way possible, in my opinion. But when you use guided meditations, it kind of just reminds you that, oh shit, I am meditating. Because when you're meditating, you will lose your train of thought, you will lose that focus, you will lose that presence, and you need to almost regain that presence, let go of those negative thoughts, or just whatever thoughts that you're thinking of, whatever thoughts that took you out of this present moment. You need to be aware of those and let go of them. But automatically, you will start thinking shit without you even noticing. And having someone to just guide you through it, having someone to just remind you that you are actually fucking meditating is very powerful. It's very effective. It's very nice to have some help. Tip number 3 is stay consistent. As I said earlier in the video, as soon as meditation clicked for me, I thought my life changed forever, but it didn't. It only changed when I started to meditate daily, every single fucking day. And if this sounds overwhelming to you, if this sounds intimidating to you, Use tip number 1 and start small. You'll get better over time. And once it's a habit, bro, it'll be ingrained into your daily routine. It'll be ingrained into who you are. And now it'll be easy to do that throughout the day rather than playing video games every day, rather than going on your phone every day. Because once it's a habit, once it's ingrained into your subconscious mind, it's easy to do this every fucking day. Tip number 4, I kind of already mentioned this, but practice this throughout the day. I talk about this all the time, but when I'm recording a video, I meditate. I try to be as present as possible. I try to get into the flow state. I try to let go of every negative thought that doesn't serve me. And then the thoughts just flow out. My best work comes when I am present, when I am in this meditative state. So every once in a while, maybe set a reminder on your phone when you're going through something throughout the day. Just take a deep breath, relax, let go of any negative thoughts that you may have, your anxiety or negative emotions, and just plant yourself in this present moment. And you will get the best work done that you've ever gotten done in your entire life. Tip number 5 is stop instant pleasure, stop instant gratification, especially your phone. As I said before, these things basically do the opposite of meditation. Going on your phone ruins your attention span. It takes you out of this present moment. It creates emotions within you. And if you don't meditate, if you don't release those negative emotions, and you do things to distract yourself from those thoughts and those emotions, you will just be creating worse and worse anxiety within you, worse and worse mental health within you, rather than doing something to actually confront those things. And like I said, you can level up when meditating all you want. You will level up that presence and mindfulness skill. You will level up every other aspect of your life. But then if you go on your phone, you level down. So keep that in mind and try to slowly get rid of these things, because step 1 still applies to bad habits. You need to slowly start going on your phone less, slowly start playing those video games less, slowly get off of Netflix, and it'll be a lot easier to actually do good habits when you don't have a lot of bad habits, and it'll be a lot easier to be present when you're not sapping all of that presence and mindfulness that you just leveled up by going on your phone. So just to recap those 5 tips: start small, use guided meditations, stay consistent, practice throughout the day, and stop going on your phone so much and other instantly gratifying activities. I appreciate you sticking around until the end of this video. This is a pretty long one, but just keep in mind that it is impossible to be mindful and present all day long. So you may be asking yourself, where do these negative thoughts come from? Where do these negative emotions even come from? How can I think and feel the way that I want to think and feel? And in tomorrow's video, I'll cover all of that. So see you in the next one.